This is the actual best ways to beat enemies in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I have looked at a lot of other videos out there, and they all parrot the same things, and none of them have it right. They are all wrong, and I'm going to set the score straight. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to absolutely cheese every single fight and just dominate enemies with no problems. You'll kill them super duper quickly, and it's just going to make the game too easy and completely broken. Now, real quick, I just want to show you what other guides have wrong about combat. I'm not going to annotate everything on the screen. You can pause the video if you want to read it, but we're going to touch up on all of these points later in the video. Now, before I teach you how to cheese every fight and make it as easy as possible, there's a few prerequisites you need to do. Number one, and you don't have to do this one, but it really speeds up the process. You spend 20 minutes, you get Alchemy level 16, you make a Henry's Fox Potion for that 50% XP increase, and I have a video that shows you how to do that. That video looks just like this. It's called the actual fastest alchemy leveling trick. This is the thumbnail. You can open the description, and there will be a link to the video under guides under fastest way to level alchemy. The next step is how to level vitality and strength super quickly while completely AFK, and in order to do that one, find this video called Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, the best possible start for new players, how to level fast and get geared. And again, it's in the description of all of my Kingdom Come Deliverance videos. You'll see it here, the best possible start. And for this particular video, first off, you're going to need how to do the loot run. So you're going to go to 4207. It's time-stamped for you right here. And then once you know how to do the loot run so you get over encumbered, then you go to this timestamp that says how to level fast while AFK. It's real simple. I can go over it if you really don't feel like it and you already have a bunch of loot stashed. For keyboard PC users, you're going to hold W, hold L, hold Alt, push F12. That opens the screenshot menu here. Push tilde to close the menu, and my hands are not on the keyboard. My hands are not pushing these buttons. My character is just running in a circle. And when you run in a circle over encumbered, you build up your strength level and your vitality level, and it's very important that you do so. And with that Fox Potion, and when you're over encumbered, it levels you up insanely fast. I'm talking 30 minutes, you'll have 20 plus strength. In 2 hours, you'll be maxed out completely. And to stop the auto run process, we hold Alt and just push W and L, and there you go. And that'll stop you from auto running. And again, you can walk away from the game, and you can come back in 30 minutes to all the level ups you'll ever need for the next steps. Now, in that video, I did not use the Fox Potion, and it took me around 4 hours and 20 minutes to get around level 26 or 27 strength. So with the Fox Potion, you're going to do that in 2 hours easy. But again, you don't need strength to be that high. Just get strength like to 15, 18, 20. It doesn't have to be super duper high for this to work. Alright, quick facts before I teach you the methods of fighting. The best weapon type is heavy weapons, from the start of the game to the end of the game. The highest DPS with perks is by using a one-handed heavy weapon without a shield or a torch. With certain perks, this will boost your damage to the moon, where you're going to be 1 to 2 shotting everything in the game, and at the start of the game, you'll be 3 shotting everything. The best starting weapon is the Skalit's Axe, and no, it doesn't have the highest stats, but it lets you swing 3 to 4 more times over any other weapon. It is considered a heavy weapon. Axes in KCD 1 and 2 both share a property where when you slash someone with an axe, you also deal blunt damage. So you're dealing 2 types of damage in a single swing, making it a very high DPS starting weapon. It's completely free. You can sharpen it, therefore you can buff it with crafting, and it is right there at the very starter town for you to grab in a shack or a shed or whatever. And if you freaking want more info, this video in the timestamp, why the Skalit's Axe is the best weapon, is right down here. Now, obviously, once you get to the second map later in the game, and you're fighting full plate enemies, the Skalit's Axe isn't as good, but it is absolutely fine up until that point, where you can just go to the blacksmith and get the best mace, one-handed mace, and then you just kill everything even faster. Now, the secret is with the Clinch. The fastest way to beat an enemy in the game and not take any damage from them is to just Clinch spam. Now, if you swing and they Master Strike, you take a hit. If you swing and they block, you deal 0 damage, you lose stamina. If you perfect block them and riposte, they're just going to perfect block you and riposte again, or Master Strike you and you take damage. If you perfect block and clinch and fail the clinch, you'll take minimal stamina damage, which will be regenerated by the time the animation frame completes. And if you perfect block and clinch and win, you basically kill them outright. I'll show you. And if you don't know what a clinch is, I'll explain all of that in case you're brand new. But real quick, the rules of a clinch is you can only clinch in weapon versus weapon or unarmed versus unarmed. You cannot clinch if they have a weapon and you don't, or if they are unarmed and you aren't unarmed. So here is how to clinch. All you have to do is once you are locked on in combat and they have their weapon drawn, I'm going to go ahead and, swing at this guy, not hit him so he pulls his weapon. And so now we're locked on. We have the lock-on reticule. Now all we got to do to clinch is just walk into him. And of course, if he's in the middle of a swing, it won't work. But you walk into him, and now we're in a clinch. So at this point, there's a lot of things that you can do, and I'm going to teach you how to basically always make the clinch work for you. Right now, he's doing an offensive move. I'm not riposting. This is the clinch. Again, he's going to keep throwing my weapon back. But there's different ways of clinching, and there's different ways of handling this. And so that's what a clinch is. I just want to show you what a clinch is. So there we go. So there is a way to clinch much faster than the game normally allows you to do. And that is using the free look button to unlock onto them, and then you can run at them. And so here's how you do that. Now, you go to key binding, and you'll notice that the default is mouse 3. Where's it at here? It is, it's called free look. Combat free look, mouse 3. Now, this is your middle scroll wheel mouse button. I don't know what it is on controller. Now, for me, I have my mouse, I have software that reprograms my mouse to use these side buttons so that my index finger is left click, my middle finger is right click, and my thumb lets me do free look. So I recommend that you just rebind this to your side mouse button, but for me, I have, mouse software that does that for me automatically so that my side button is essentially pushing the mouse wheel, scroll wheel down. Now, let me show you what this looks like and how much faster it is and why it's faster. So, let's go ahead and block this guy real quick. So, you'll notice right now, whenever I'm walking around, and this guy's very aggressive. He keeps swinging on me, right? We're like slowly walking around, right? Now, when I hold the free look button, look how much faster I can move, right? And he's going to chase me. And so, you can move way faster with free look than you normally do when you're locked on. So what you do is let him swing, and then you free look, walk into him, and then you clinch immediately. And no, this is not like saving half a second or anything, because what happens in fights, especially when you are outnumbered, is when you try to clinch someone, they're going to backpedal the whole time, and you're going to waste 5 to 6 seconds until they eventually get backed up against a wall, or eventually until someone else attacks you instead. So again, sometimes enemies, especially when they're lower in stamina, they're just going to back up from you, right? Now, this guy likes to swing a bunch, and he's not backing up. So I'm going to let him hit me in the face there. And yeah, he's backing up a little bit now, but again, this guy, again, a lot of different AIs act differently. Because he's a guard, he's not backing up as often. But he's still backing up. And so when you're outnumbered, it could be a huge waste of time. But whenever you use free look, you can just run at him and clinch immediately, even if you don't block an attack. So it's very important to learn the free look method of clinching. It's super important. So, the easy and no-skill, brain-dead dummy way to do this game doesn't care if you miss timings on clinches. It's not programmed for that. It's not in the game's code. You can just spam your mouse left and right, your cursor, just move it left and right constantly, while spamming your left click and your right click, and you win every time. And so, what this does is, when your weapon is pushed against theirs, your mouse swiveling is going to slide your weapon against theirs. Your left click is going to make you do the attack as soon as the game allows you to, and combo it, and your right click is going to block their attempt at attacking you during the clinch. And because you have a high strength stat, you win nearly every damn clinch. Now, there are times where you might not win the clinch, and again, it's randomly number generated. It's an RPG game. There are times when you theoretically roll a dice roll of 1 and lose the percent to win, but you take no damage if you're not completely naked, and you just re-clinch them again and kill them. And it's the fastest way to kill enemies in this game. Now, again, there's 2 ways to do this, and here's what it looks like. The first way is just go free mode and run into him and clinch. That's the easiest way. The safer way is to wait for him to swing on you, and I'm going to talk about how to force the enemies to swing on you. So as soon as you perfect block, then you walk into him. So I'm going to do that again. So we're going to wait for him to swing. So perfect block, walk into him, clinch. I had to perfect block that again, but now we're clinched again. So that's the basic way to do it. Now I'm going to go ahead and murder this dude. I'm just going to walk into him, and he's doing a swing, so we're going to go ahead and take that. But now we're clinched. I'm just spamming my buttons. Boom, there we go. And boom, there's the second clinch. Sock him in the face. He died in 2 hits. The first hit is kind of not as strong as that one where we hit him in the face. And with the Scallet's Axe, you're always hitting them in the face if they don't do their little defensive thing first. It's real simple. I can go kill the whole town real quick doing this method. And right now, there's a bunch of soldiers eating their lunch here at this inn. So let's just, okay, well, there was. I'm going to load game and get those soldiers back. They walked away. All right, so let's show a clinch fight with multiple targets. We're just going to attack the most unarmored guy first to start some crap. Everyone's going to get up from their lunch tables and fight me all at once, of course. A lot of civilians are going to be running around too, and so we want to make sure that we block in a 1v1. Just run into them, but in like a 1v3, you want to always perfect block first and then run into them and then get that clinch. We blocked it, we hit them, and again, second clinch, we failed that one. Now he's disarmed. I'm going to talk a little bit why did he get disarmed during the clinch, and that is a perk for heavy weapons. Other weapons don't do that unless you fight them long term. But now that he's unarmed, we can't clinch him, so we have to swing and kill him. Otherwise, he's going to sit there and stun lock us. So, again, we can just kill him real quick. So he's done. We're going to block this dude, clinch him real quick, block that, hit him in the gut, go for the second clinch, and he's dead. Well, no, we disarmed him again. So, again, if you disarm enough people, you can still perfect block his punches, but you can't clinch him anymore. We just need to finish him off real quick. And again, this you just fight them normally. If they're unarmed, don't also go unarmed. Just kill them. All right, so we got a couple more guys here, and again, we're gonna wait for them to swing while keeping them in front of us so that we perfect block. There's the block. I actually failed it. We're gonna walk into them now. There's the clinch. Go ahead and hit them there, and then we can swing normally. If we want, we can do another clinch. He's dead. All right, last guy's on our side. We're gonna block, or we can just run into him now. So there we go. There's the first hit. He's down in one shot. Now, this guy's unarmed. We can't clinch him. Again, you just block his attack, riposte him. He's going to run out of stamina, and he's dead. So, one more guy. Here we go. We're just going to, again, walk into him, do the clinch, swivel my mouse. He's dead. That's a 2-hit from the clinch. Clinches can hit them up to 4 times, all right? So, it's rare, but it happens. And, again, you just swivel your mouse left and right. You just spam left click. Everyone's going to die. It's super duper easy. I took no damage in that fight. They're all dead, and it's so much faster than sitting there trying to master strike and do this and that. And I'm going to show you other faster ways to clear out large crowds too. But again, this strategy can't be beat. It defeats every enemy in the game. It makes things super duper easy. Where is that catchpole that's normally out here? He might have got alerted, but yeah, this works against everybody. Now again, in 1v1s, you just run up with the no look trick. In a 1v3, you wait for the perfect block, then you walk into them. And I'm going to talk more about AI aggression real quick, too. But before I do that, I just want to mention that with the Scallet's Axe and the heavy weapon build, you can kill targets that are either unaware, or if when you start a fight, you just do a charged hit and you 1 to 2 shot everybody. And I know this is just a bath wench, and we just instantly kill her, and you can instantly kill, like, horses and cows, so that they don't run away from you and stuff. It's just way more DPS at the start of the game. And by the time you get to the second map, you're going to fight full plate opponents, in which case you want to have a mace instead of an axe, because you'll deal much less damage when they're fully armored. Alright, so let's talk about AI aggression real quick. We're going to swing on this dude, not hit him. Alright, pull out your weapon. So, there's a way to control how often the enemy AI attacks you. And it's pretty simple stuff. I'm going to go ahead and pull it up on the screen for you here. So here is the basic rules of AI aggression. If you stand completely still, not strafing left and right, not walking back and forward, the AI will attack you the least amount than anything else as long as they are in front of you. If you walk into them or towards them, they will attack more than anything else besides being behind you. If you backpedal away from them, they will attack more often than standing still, but less often, or they're not going to attack as often than if you are walking into them. Enemies behind you will always constantly attack you no matter what. They're just going to spam attacks. Enemies running at you will always immediately attack when they're in range, and they will do a lunge attack. Like, if you hack the game and make it where you can fly, and they're running at you, as soon as they attack and you teleport 30 feet away, they will also teleport 30 feet and hit you with their attack. And so let me demonstrate that real quick with this guy here. So we're just going to block his attack. I'm standing completely still now, and he's doing his little combo real quick. He's going to eventually tire out. So there we go, just waiting on him to stop his combo. So now, we've reset the combo. Also, the mutt is attacking him. Alright, well, I didn't mean to say sick him. Alright. The dog is no longer in combat. So, there we go. Now we've reset, and look how often that he is going to swing on me. So, there we go. He's going to just kind of chill a bit, and then he might swing again. Again, he's just kind of measuring me up. He's just kind of eyeballing me. Everything's chill. Right? And this guy, he likes to do combos, whatever. Everyone's a little bit different with their combos, but you'll see he's just kind of standing there. He's going to walk back and forth. He's going to start swinging again. There we go. And again, he's going to do his little combo, and then he'll stop once he runs out of stamina. There we go. Alright, yeah, this guy did... Hey, I told the dog to stop attacking. Alright, so now I'm going to backpedal. And he's going to attack more often now, rather than idling. And it may not look like it, but if you time-lapse it, like, you just record your footage of only backpedaling, only walking forward, and standing still, and you'll notice the difference. And I can maybe kind of show you that with some time manipulation here, but here I am, just backpedaling away. And you'll notice that he attacks... Well, why is the dog still attacking him, man? Anyway, so there we go. Now I'm going to walk towards him, which will clinch... because I've got him kind of cornered here, but yeah, he will attack way more often when you walk towards him. But I keep clinching him because I'm just faster than him. But yeah, he will swing way more often the more you walk towards him. Alright, and again, I don't know how to get the dog to stop biting him. The dog's just gonna kill him. Alright, so you're gonna hear a noise. It's gonna sound like da-doom. Hold on, it didn't do it. Yeah, that noise. That's my computer, not yours. That is not an error on your part, okay? Don't worry about that sound. So let me do a little time manipulation here and kind of show you. I'm going to stand completely still. So look how often he attacks. There we go. And the dog is just chewing him up. Oh, man, I gotta try this again without the dog. All right, we got the dog to stay put. So let me show you. Also, using free look to run, away, kind of, sort of, will make him charge. And as soon as he gets in range, he will always attack. So there you go. That's an easy way to bait out a perfect block. But once you play this game for a couple hours, you're going to be able to do that anyway. So I'm going to show you with a time lapse here. And again, that computer sound noise is me, not you. So look how often he's going to attack. So here's the time lapse. So see, he's not attacking very often, right? But when I walk into him, he's going to be constantly attacking. Also, we're clinching a bunch. But yeah, I'm taking a lot more stamina damage doing this. Now when I backpedal, he's going to be swinging a bunch too. And you can see, well, I'm now cornered, it looks like, on the cart there. But, man, this guy's actually kind of slow, so maybe this is not the best example. But the faster enemies will definitely chase you down and constantly swing on you, right? So, hopefully you understand. And again, that's my computer, not yours. Just so you can understand the basic AI interaction. So the heavy weapons line is the best at disarming, but with this perk, which you can see, I don't have it learned because, I mean, we're already very strong anyway, but by learning Shield Breaker, it just increases your ability to either smash through shields completely, because all shields in this game are made of wood, and that's in the description, and when your shield gets broken, you can see the wood splintering everywhere. So, yeah. But also, this perk, even if they don't have a shield, they're still blocking with their weapon, and so you will be breaking their weapons even faster with this. You noticed in the multi-fight I showed earlier that I was able to just basically make them drop their weapons and everything, and they have to fight me barehanded. And when they fight barehanded, it's way easier to roll the dice and land a hit with just random swings. And the thing is there are people with Master Strike ability with unarmed, but they cannot Master Strike you if you have a weapon. Only if you are also unarmed. So don't worry about getting Master Striked with an unarmed opponent. Also, by default, when the AI is disarmed or unarmed, when you swing on them, they don't perfect block you. They dodge. They waste their stamina dodging. So you will just keep swinging on them, and because you're using a one-handed weapon, you will always win the stamina fight over them and be able to just eventually start landing hits and killing them super duper quickly. So real quick, just a quick tutorial on how to hit runners. I've seen people post that when someone's running away from them, that they're either too slow or their weapon doesn't have enough reach. And I'll show you what they're complaining about and how to counter it, okay? So these guys are all running from me because I'm clearly murdering their village. And so you'll notice that, well, this guy kind of ran out of breath, I guess, but let him catch his breath. Okay, so we're chasing him, and we're trying to swing on him, and we can't hit him, right? Even if we get right up on his butt and swing, well, in this case, we locked onto him. That's not really what I wanted to show. Where's those other guys at real quick? There they are. Let's catch up to them, and again, I'm just going to speed hack a little bit to get close. And no, I'm not saying speed. Where'd they go? They disappeared. Oops. But no, the point to catch runners is that you want, because you're right-handed, you want them on the right corner of your screen, kind of like this, but also you want to accelerate your swing. And to do that, you stare at the ground. So you want them on the kind of top right corner of your screen. And the way that works when you're not able to lock on them, like I am, is that's going to make the axe come down on them faster than if you're facing them. So you face down, you get them in the left side of your screen, and your hitbox, your axe's hitbox will hit them much sooner, and they won't have time to run outside of the hitbox's range. But yeah, that is how to chase down runners. So now I want to teach you how to, especially against guards or a group of literally anybody, how to disarm everyone all at once so that as soon as you can act, you can start chopping them up before they can redraw their weapons. And this disarms everyone. So I've got a bunch of guards on me, preferably not the bailiff or anything, but we got 4 guards and they're chasing, 5 guards. Yeah, they're all chasing me, right? So here's how to do it. Open a dialogue, hold Alt, push 1 to surrender. You're going to start talking to them. And you need to fail the skill check. If you succeed, they'll obviously stop attacking you and go away. But in this case, I'm going to do my lowest skill check, so I fail this. There we go, we failed. And so when I hit I'll never surrender and continue fighting, they have to re-pull out their weapons. And while they do that, I can just attack them. So here we go. So see how they had to redraw all their weapons? So that temporarily disarmed everybody. So what you do is, again, you can do this every 20 seconds, by the way. You can literally, every 20 seconds, surrender, open the dialogue, kill a guy, run away for 20 seconds, and rinse and repeat, if you don't want to try to clinch fight him. But the problem with this many enemies is that you clinch one guy, and they're going to get behind you, and they will attack you when you're behind them. Also, these guards in the starter town, they're a lot stronger than they let on, but we can still, try to clinch this guy real quick. He's gonna, do his dance, and now they're, again, they have me surrounded. So again, I just rinse and repeat. I can AoE disarm everybody, and then whittle them all down. Now, I will mention that if you spend too long, also I'm full surrounded here, so you never want to get, like, full surrounded. But if you do, just clinch a guy and then run for the opening. That's all you really have to do. Now, if you do the dialogue too fast, like, I'll speed run it here. I'm just gonna mash through the dialogue. And if you do it too fast, this doesn't work. See how they still have all their weapons out and they didn't have to redraw? You have to actually take your time. And what I assume is the game loads it weird, so they all put their weapons away since they're not actively fighting you or something. I don't really have an answer as to why the game behaves that way. But yeah, you can... and again, this is the slower way to, like, kill a bunch of enemies that you have aggro on. I'll show you some faster ways. It involves the bow or crossbow, but it also requires a lot of marksman leveling to do. Also, if you get right inside their hitbox, you can just swing on them and kill them that way too, because the AI doesn't know how to block it or react to it. So, lots of little just quick tips here and there. Now, I want to talk about the lazy and fast way to mass kill enemies. And the field crossbow is the easier way to do this. There is a bow that also lets you do this, but it requires lots of leveling in marksman, which is not that hard to do, and I'm going to teach you how to do all of that. But let me just show you the field crossbow real quick. So whenever you want to kill just a whole room full of dudes, and again, the crossbow isn't ideal if you already have like 7 guards aggroed to you, but essentially this weapon does one-shot headshot everyone that doesn't have a face covering. So you just blast them in the face and they will die. And I get a 50% damage buff after killing one enemy, which I can then just kill another guy. and then another guy, and again, the crossbows are a little bit slow, and as long as you're not completely swarmed and being hit from behind, and you're armored, also I whiffed and missed that one there, you'll notice that I can just tank all of his hits without being stunned, and I have the little slowdown perk, so I can aim at his face a little bit easier. That time well, the dog's biting him now, but I did not manage to hit him in the head there. I hit him in the helmet, I think, but yeah, we can just line the shot up, and even though I shot him in the helmet, it still kills, right? Again, this is not the fastest way. This is just the easiest way if you are new. And you'll notice that without the buff, you don't always one-shot headshot. But once you've killed a person, I get a 50% damage buff, and every time... This guy is like backpedaling into me, what? But yeah, we one-shot headshot, and especially the catch pole. But if they have a face covering, this doesn't work. But late game, and that did stun me, so it interrupted the reload. And again, he's got a mace, so that's why he's stunning me. He's hitting me through my armor. Whereas if enemies don't have a mace, they're not going to be able to do that. So yeah, you can see here, it doesn't work against certain enemies. But there is a bow that lets you do this. But I want to talk about the crossbow real quick, and where to find this, and where to get ammo for it, just in case you don't want to level marksman. So the field crossbow, here's Simine, here's the town you start in, Troskowitz. You're going to go south, and you're going to see a big field like this. Again, here's Simine, or Simine, and right here past the forest, there's like a little clearing, and this is called Von Burgo's Ambushed Men, and we're going to go ahead and go there. And there's going to be there's a dead horse. There'll be an alive one, but I've already killed that too. And you just loot the dead soldiers, and one of them will have the crossbow on them. Now, for ammo, you want to go northwest of Troskowitz up here to Tachov? I don't know how to pronounce this. But the blacksmith will sell piercing bolts for you, and that is where you would go. And no, I don't care about a man digging a hole. Diggy hole. But, yeah, you come here. The blacksmith is right here, and he sells a very large amount of crossbow bolts. We'll go to trade. And I don't like how Henry points at him, but yeah, I've already bought all the ammo, so he doesn't have any more until I refresh it and, wait a few days. But yeah, you can get a whole lot of bolts. You can see here right now my character has 126 piercing bolts, 182 piercing arrows. This is the quickest way to get ammo. It does cost money, but you can steal it back, or you'll have so much junk you can sell it won't matter, really. Now, there is a bow, because bows are way faster, however, they don't deal as much damage. So, the best non-criminal free bow on the first map is the Poacher's Bow. It is not strong enough to one-shot headshot people, even when your marksman is leveled up. My agility is 16, and, marksmanship 20. It is still not enough to one-shot, even with the damage buffs. So, the Poacher's Bow is not going to work for this. But there is a bow, and it does require thievery and possibly murder, and it's at the Nomad's camp, so we're going to go ahead and fast travel there real quick. And once you're at the camp, from the fast travel, we're going to walk forward a bit. And this is where the horse trader is. And then this trail that leads down is super important, but we're not going down there yet. Instead, we're going to walk opposite of the trail, where this little camp is, and kind of go along the rocks here. This is traveling west. There's going to be some dudes here. And then on the left, we have this guy in orange or yellow, whatever color this is. His name is Bibrek the Archer, and he leans against this tree all day. That's all he does. He's a real lazy bones. So we're gonna walk behind him, and we're gonna pickpocket his keys. There we go. Or you can just kill him, because he is a cuman, and Henry doesn't like cumans. At least in my playthrough. That's how I play Henry. They killed his family, so he doesn't like them. Anyway, yoink his keys, whatever. And then we're gonna go back to that pathway that I just showed you near the fast travel point. So we're just backtracking back, going towards the east, and again, it slopes down here. So you're gonna go down here, and this is the Cuman's camp, right? And we need in this little tent right here. So the way I do it, I walk behind the tent, and I don't even swap to my sneaking gear. I just crouch and then walk in, and they don't normally notice me. But this is a private area. We just open the chest, and we grab the Cuman Chief's bow. This has a power of 180. There's some other crap here. It's not as good, but we just want the bow. Also, they got some nice, arrows. We can go ahead and yoink. Good amount of arrows. Nothing else in here really all that good, but we got the bow, and there we go. We're going to go ahead and put on the bow. And again, I recommend that you level up marksmanship for this, and I'm going to teach you how to do that in a bit. But we'll put on the Cuman Chief's bow. And these Cuman guys, they're pretty strong. We're going to use the regular piercing arrow because we have a bunch of those. And, you know, these guys are armored. They're all in a team. They're pretty tough guys. This is actually like a story character, this dude right here. But you can see here, he's not going to go down in one shot. But let's go ahead and slow time here. And I'm taking some hits. Got him. Alright, so that's one kill, and now that I have the buff from killing an enemy, and that guy had his shield up, now we one-shot, and we draw very quickly, and every time we draw, we get to, you know, slow down time like some sort of Max Payne, you know, the Matrix or something, shoot that dude in the head, and again, you can just, like, I'm tanking their hits, it's not a big deal, and as soon as I get that bow draw, we slow time, we shoot them in the eyeballs, they're dead. And you'll notice in the bottom right corner, I have the buff. And I'll talk about the buffs and the perks in a bit. But, yeah, that's how you just kill everybody. So, especially if they're all, like, lined up in a row. So I'm just going to go ahead and start killing innocents now. There we go. Just pump one in her head. It still one-shots, like, the weaker enemies, right? So, again, they're all one-shottable. And you can draw it very, very quickly here. Missed her, so I'll just let her get away. She can live to tell the story. Now, that one bounced off this guy, alright? And that's the attack angle. If your arrow hits at a bad angle, it's going to bounce off regardless. But yeah, you can see here, we're just very, very quickly able to kill everyone. And we're getting our stamina back every time. Just about. Alright. Super easy. And again, I know these guys aren't armored. This doesn't work if they have face coverings, by the way. Also, this guy is standing in my hitbox. So, no, I'm not going to leave you be. I'm going to shoot you. It's okay, I can rewind time with the save game file. There we go. And again, you can just kill a whole village of people if you want. Very, very easy. Where's Tomcat? That's not Tomcat. Tomcat's around here somewhere. He'll show up. Alright, slow time. Miss that guy, whatever. The rules are if we miss, we let him go. But, you know, I'm just letting you know. This is the quickest way to dispatch a large amount of enemies that aren't, you know, that don't have their faces covered. So Tomcat here, again, we don't have the buff, so we can't one-shot him in the head, but we can two-shot him. And now that we have the buff again, we can one-shot all of his little goofy friends with their silly hats. Oh no, murderer. Alright, missed that guy too, whatever. But you get the point. It's way faster than the crossbow, but we have to level up marksman. So let's talk about that now. Now, the other guides get this wrong, and so I'm going to set the record straight, okay? Because I'm a min-maxer, I like to make sure everyone's being efficient in their video games, because time is precious. Everyone and their moms all say to go here. Here's Trauskowitz, and then they want people to go from Takov, we go west, all the way to this little archery range here. And yes, if you shoot the targets at this archery range, you get XP for it. However, the arrows are not free. You have to pull each individual arrow out of the target dummy, and you aren't getting paid to do this. This is not the way to do it, okay? If you have infinite arrows, which a lot of these YouTubers, they just open the console, they just open this thing, and they're like, blah, 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 infinite arrows, and then they show you a video, right? And that, you know, what about console players? What about people that don't want to cheat? Well, you guys need to go here. Here's Trauskowitz. You go north to Trotsky Castle, and they have also an archery range, but this archery range is special because you can not only earn money doing this, but you don't have to spend your own arrows to do it. And I recommend that you use that field crossbow to level up just because it's way easier to aim, and you don't even need to equip ammo for it or anything. But you talk to this guy, his name is Bohumir, whatever. You talk to him. Alright, you tell him that you want to compete in the shooting contest, and then you say crossbow because it's way easier to do it on crossbow. And then you tell him masters, and it's going to cost you 45 groschen, but you're going to win 120 something whenever you beat him. And if you don't beat him, it's still worth the groschen. You'll get it back anyway. Don't worry about the money. Right? And so 45 groschen, there you go. And here's how it works. You have to look where you're standing. I'm standing on the far left. There's going to be 3 people. Sometimes you're in the middle, sometimes you're on the right. Because I'm on the far left, my target is on the far left. I don't want to shoot these other targets, otherwise I don't get points. And so all you do is you try to get bullseyes, and this will give you plenty of XP, just like the other target range, which I didn't get a bullseye there. But for winning the contest, you get paid and you get bonus XP. And yeah, this takes a little bit of time to do. to level up your marksman to 18, and also along with your agility to be able to use that Cuman chief bow, I think you have to do this about 20 times. I don't mean shoot it 20 times, I mean you need to do this competition 20 times. But the cool thing is that you can do this competition immediately after finishing it, over and over and over until the sun sets. And then you just wait out, and you can come right back. And you can see it's very easy to do. I'm not getting a lot of bullseyes, but I have a 22 score. The other two guys have 9 and 13. So, again, it's super easy to do. And this is how you build up your marksman and your agility and your warfare and all that fun stuff. And you get paid for it. And the bolts that we're using, I'll show you. We're not using our own ammo. We're using, it's tournament bolt. We are using practice shooting bolts that we are given for the competition. And so, yeah, it doesn't cost any ammo, and you don't have to pull the arrows out of the board. You see, I just maxed out my strength. I'm strength level 30. You also get strength points for doing this, but if you're following the video guide, then your strength should already be super duper freaking high. And there we go. We won the contest, which gives us marksmanship XP. And you'll notice that we got 135 groschen, and then you can just say, I want to compete in the shooting contest. And he's like, again? And then you just rinse and repeat this endlessly. Alright, let's talk about why Master Strikes are a DPS loss. They require swords. Swords are not the in-game highest DPS. They have the highest stats. Yes, sure. However, they only hit once when you Master Strike. You poke them once, or you slap them once. They are too technical to zug-zug no-brain spam. You can't just, like, if you're playing this game with 19 hours no sleep after a hard days of work, and you don't feel like thinking, it's just not fun to time, especially if you suck at rhythm games or timing. Master Striking is just not the way to go, and even if you were, like, the most perfect pro gamer, it's still faster just to clinch them and beat the hell out of them than it is to time your attack on their attack, or, block their riposte with a Master Strike. Now, here's the thing with video games a lot of people don't realize. You need to trust but verify the game. When the game tells you that a certain item deals more damage than everything else, you need to trust the game, yeah, sure, but you need to verify if it actually is. And so, let me explain here, let me show you. I have an Ataman Saber. You can see here, this thing has a 118 slash damage, alright? And then we have the Scalit's Axe here. This thing is 85 slash damage. 43 blunt, and as I explained earlier, the blunt damage is added to the slash damage because that's how axes work in this game and the previous game. Whereas for sabers, not so much the case. Only when their stamina is empty do sabers blunt get added to slash for whatever stupid coding reason. Again, I didn't make the game, don't complain to me about it. But, looking at the stats damage, if I slash someone with Ataman's Saber, I will deal more damage than with the Scalit's Axe. For one, this is not true because, well, of how perks work, for one. There are more damaging perks for the heavy weapons than there are swords, especially sabers. And so, not only with my perks do I receive more damage with the axe, but also, you have stat requirements. And the higher, I know it's a little hard to see over the watermark, but the way stat requirements work is that with perks, the lower the stat requirements, the more damage you can deal with it, but also the lower the stat requirements, the more times you can swing with it. So let's go ahead and put on the Ataman Saber here and get full stamina, and I'm just going to spam left click and see how many swings we can do here. And again, I have the stat requirements to use this. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 swings. I'm out of stamina, alright? Now we're going to put on the Scalit's Axe, which has a much lower stat, way lower stat required, which makes it a perfect starter weapon and carries you through the whole game, in my opinion. But now we'll see how many swings that it does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have more attacks with this axe than we do with the sword. And that alone, even if the stats were technically correct, puts us ahead of the sword anyway. And also, different weapons do different clinch attacks, different animations, and so on and so forth. And also have different ranged hitboxes. For me, if I want to look at the ground and smack a chicken with this axe, I can do it. With the saber, I have to angle it a very specific way to be able to hit the chicken on the ground. And so, this axe, despite not being a sword, still technically has a bigger reach than the sword. Also, it's just the overall use. Another thing is charged attacks. A charged attack is when you raise the weapon, and then you release it shortly after for a bonus damage hit. Now, for heavy weapons, you get way higher damage with charged attacks due to perks than you would with a sword. So in this case, if I wanted to use a sword to ambush these guys and start a fight, yeah, I could charge attack them for more damage, but at the end of the day, it won't be as much as the axe, despite it having higher stats. There we go. Just conked him on the head. And now, yeah, we can stab with a sword. Sure, absolutely. So I can backpedal here. I can do block, things. It's not like in KCD1 where you can just face stab opponents the whole time, right? Now, I can still clinch with the sword. I can still do clinch spamming. But heavy weapons, it's just faster. It's just way more efficient than it is, with the sword. Because, again, I can disarm people way easier with the heavy weapon. But I just deal more damage in general. So, again, we're clinching, we're defending here. We're going to re-clinch, bash him in the face, knock him out. And, again, if you want to use swords, you can. If you can do whatever makes you happy. I will admit it's fun to poke people and stuff, and it's also fun to Master Strike because the animations are pretty neat. But at the end of the day, it's just not the best weapon. It's not the best DPS either. But again, you do you, whatever makes you happy. Now, at the same time, a weapon with incredibly low stats is almost borderline useless. We have the staff here. This is the weakest weapon in the game. Your fists are actually stronger than the staff, believe it or not. It is a polearm. It has no stat requirements. It only does 10 blunt damage. So you can see here that when I clinch spam the guard, let's swing our stick at him. Let's go ahead and clinch up. And again, we're not going to deal nearly as much damage. All right, let's get it clinched here. After he starts his little swing animation. Also, the dog is just biting him, so we get some free hits on him. And you can see that, it's taking more hits to beat this guy up. We can't even slide our weapon around because of the weapon type, polearm versus hammer. And he's able to defend the clinches way easier than it is with the heavy weapons. So, again, we're just not being able to clinch spam him very well with this weapon, despite having 29 strength on this save. So, there we go. Again, I haven't won a single clinch yet. And again, this is because I'm using a polearm, and polearms are not very good for clinching. And clinching being the fastest way to beat someone means you should use a weapon that's good at clinching, which is the heavy weapon. That's how the game is programmed. But yeah, we can still kill him, of course. It's just a lot more effort than it needs to be. Alright, so that's the video, but I want to give you a little bonus tip. I know you didn't click on the video for this, but if you ever want to steal a weapon from an NPC, all you gotta do is this. So, this is a heavy mace. You can't get this on the first map. You're not supposed to. But for whatever reason, this guy has one. And it's the best one-handed mace you could possibly get, before actually starting the game. So to get it, you can't pickpocket it, and yeah, we could kill him and take it. All you really gotta do is just knock him out. Just choke him out. There you go. He's unconscious. And we're gonna go ahead and rob him real quick. And yeah, we're getting beat up, but that's fine. We can, as soon as that menu opens, we yoink the weapon. We got the weapon yoinked. And I've unarmed clinched this dude real quick, which, if you want to play unarmed, the clinch stuff works. But again, I'm just showing you how to steal a really powerful early game weapon from the soldier. We're going to whistle for our horse, wherever it is. Hello, horse? There's the horse. We're going to pop open the menu. There we go. We're going to move that heavy mace. Now, we're going to get on the horse and run away a bit, which we have the perk that lets us immediately sprint away. Very useful for the horse. Alright, we're waiting for that icon at the top to change from being chased to being searched for. So I'm just going to speed that process up for you guys. There it is. Okay, cool. And now we can move. I didn't need to hop off the horse. We can move the heavy mace to the horse. And now I can fast travel back to the inn and apologize for choking a dude out. There was a brawl on the road, apparently. And it's like, oh, people are still fighting even after I left. So we're going to go up, and the soldiers are gone. But the catch pole is going to be upset because I did assault someone. So again, we'll just give them a nice hug. And then, I have high charisma, so we can just talk them out of it. It's fine. It's all good. You lose rep, but who cares? And there we go. Now we have a heavy mace. And so, again, the horse isn't near, so I can't pull it out. Or I guess I can. I guess the horse is somewhere nearby. I could teleport it to my inventory. And now we have one of the better early game maces. Very high blunt damage. Not that there's any enemies on the first map that you really need to like break through their full plate. But if you want to go clubbing winches, I guess. You can see here, even though this is a very strong weapon, it's taking 3 hits to beat these guys up. There we go. And these are charged hits. And, yeah. Again, these guys aren't wearing heavy armor, so it's not really working. But look at them all pour out of the inn. Also, why can't I beat this dude up? Why is it like saying he's a protected NPC? But anyway, guys, that's the video. I hope you enjoyed. And again, if you want to be an unarmed fighter, you can do the clinch stuff all the same. But I would recommend that you aim towards the right so you can do a 3-hit combo on them. And again, like my unarmed is very low. And so whenever you do unarmed, it factors in your strength, but it also factors in your unarmed level. You can see here, I'm struggling with this dude. But this guy is, he always fights unarmed anyway, so he's kind of trained for it. But yeah, eventually we'll get him. Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, if you found this video useful or enjoyable, please leave a comment or a like or something. And click the video on the right side of your screen. If you don't click the video, what's gonna happen is it's gonna rain a bunch. If you like the rain, then it's not gonna rain. And it's gonna get really cold, and if you like the cold, it's gonna get really hot, okay? The weather's just not gonna be in your favor if you don't click that video on the right side of your screen. I'll see y'all later. Take care. Mwah.